And we have 3 different sports media figures that have released their All-Star ballots, and Angel Reese is nowhere to be seen. She's not involved.
Just a few months ago, Angel Reese was everywhere. Her face was splashed across WNBA promotions, social media buzzed with her every move, and major media outlets couldn't stop calling her the next face of women's basketball.
The WNBA All-Star starters have been announced, y'all. They've been announced. Y'all want to guess who not starting? Hey, listen, some people don't belong in certain conversations.
Forbes even put her name alongside A'ja Wilson, the reigning queen of the league, as one of the brightest stars the sport had to offer. But then the All-Star ballots dropped, and suddenly the noise disappeared.
So it's been very up and down. All of her numbers, she's over 2 points a game behind last year, and basically a little over a rebound a game down, and that's supposed to be her strong suit.
Reese didn't just miss the starting lineup, she wasn't even listed among the reserves. And just like that, one of the most talked about rookies in recent memory became a shocking omission. So what happened? How did a player who seemed untouchable fall off so quickly?
And Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
When fans finally got to see the numbers behind the All-Star selections, the truth hit hard. Angel Reese ranked 13th in fan voting, pulling in just over 173,000 votes. For a player whose popularity seemed sky high, that number wasn't just low, it was concerning. In contrast, Caitlin Clark, another rookie with just as much spotlight, pulled in more than 600,000 fan votes. That's over 3 times as many. This wasn't just a small gap, it was a landslide. Despite Angel's efforts to rally support online and encourage fans to vote, the response simply didn't match the noise that once surrounded her.
Let's keep it real. Did y'all think Angel Reese was gonna be starting? Wait. Don't get mad at me. Why you bringing up A'ja? Hey. You don't tell me nothing, because I'ma tell you something. Listen, man. Them Instagram followers and all that, it don't translate to the court. Y'all not voting, bro. It's as simple as that. These starters are about, you got like fan votes come into play here.
Here's where things get even more eye-opening. Fan votes count for 50% of the All-Star selections. The rest is decided by media and players. And this is where Reese's support completely vanished. 3 major media figures released their All-Star ballots, and not a single one included Angel Reese. Not one.
And Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
Meanwhile, players like A'ja Wilson were selected unanimously across all 3 ballots. The message couldn't be clearer. While the media had hyped Reese up for months, those watching closely, the analysts, the athletes, the insiders, weren't convinced anymore. That silence said more than any article ever could.
And we saw from the popularity voting, remember, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark, it was me too. Angel was 13th in the All-Star voting. Well, everything I've been told, she should have been at least second.
Let's talk about performance. Angel Reese is currently averaging 11.3 points per game and 11.9 rebounds. Solid, yes, but not spectacular. Her field goal percentage sits below 39%, which is especially disappointing for a 6'3" post player expected to dominate inside. And what's more concerning? These stats actually show a decline from her college days. less efficiency, less consistency. And when the league is watching you closely, every dip stands out. Expectations were sky high, and she's fallen short of them so far. That's not hate, it's just the reality of pro-level competition.
Beckers is number 6, which I thought was rather surprising. 3 months ago, Paige Beckers was the only star in women's basketball not named Caitlin Clark. She entered the WNBA dump with a massive amount of mainstream notoriety, but as soon as she put on the hard hat, as soon as she was sized for the steel-toed boots, the second she took off the UConn jersey and exchanged it for the Dallas Wankers, Paige Beckers seems to have disappeared.
The problem isn't that Angel Reese is playing badly, it's that the gap between how she was promoted and how she's performing is hard to ignore. When a player is marketed as a league changer, the fans naturally expect domination, highlight plays, game-winning performances, clear leadership on the court. But what they're seeing is inconsistency, and inconsistency doesn't sell. Her rebounding numbers are decent, but her shooting struggles make it hard for fans and critics to place her among the best. That mismatch between public image and real-time stats has finally caught up.
It was our understanding, from what we understood, she was going to be among the players, right? That's what the media has been trying to tell us, except the media is finally telling you, this is 3 members of the media, 2 from SI, 1 from USA Today, and they are saying she is not among the starters, in their opinion, in the WNBA All-Star game. They're not on these ballots.
Unlike other players who quietly earned their votes, Angel Reese went public. She openly asked fans to support her, to cast ballots in her favor, to prove her star power. But when the results came back and her name was buried below 10 other frontcourt players, that public push ended up highlighting the problem. It wasn't just a miss, it was a glaring reminder that social media popularity doesn't always translate into league recognition. And once those numbers were out, the narrative quickly shifted from celebration to critique. While Angel's numbers declined, another rookie's star rose fast: Caitlin Clark. Her numbers are electric. Her shooting is efficient. Her assists, leadership, and late-game composure make highlight reels on a regular basis. And unlike Reese, Clark didn't need to ask fans for votes. They showed up on their own. She finished the fan voting with more than triple Angel's total. That difference wasn't just about stats, it was about impact. Clark is delivering wins, highlights, and leadership, all without controversy. That's what the league is rewarding. Earlier this year, outlets like Sports Illustrated and USA Today couldn't get enough of Angel Reese. She was featured, spotlighted, and celebrated. But once the votes came out, those same outlets quietly pulled back. She didn't appear on their ballots. There were no follow-up articles defending her omission, no media spin, just silence. And in the world of sports media, that silence can be deafening. When your biggest supporters stop pushing your name, it's often because they see the momentum slowing down, and they're moving on to the next headline.
I mean, we got to remember, they may put Angel Reese on their backs and try to carry her across the finish line, for crying out loud. But my goodness, what a difference. What a difference in the media from this time last year. People are finally catching on. Basketball fans, actual basketball fans that know anything about basketball, they've caught on. There's no doubt about it.
Angel Reese built a massive following through her confidence, her charisma, and her presence online. She became a symbol of personality-driven branding in women's sports. But in the WNBA, where every game is a grind and every mistake is magnified, that branding only works when the box scores match the buzz. Fans don't just want confidence, they want clutch. And when someone as visible as Reese fails to deliver consistently, the disappointment spreads fast. In this league, image only gets you so far. Production has to carry the rest. Not only was Angel Reese left out of the All-Star starters, she didn't even earn a reserve spot. Players like Gabby Williams and Brittany Sykes, who don't have anywhere near Reese's media visibility, were selected ahead of her. That says everything. When lesser-known names are getting nods over the player once called the future of the league, it's a sign that the WNBA is watching results, not marketing. The fans, coaches, and analysts are aligning around one idea. Being famous isn't enough. You have to show up every night. This year's All-Star selection wasn't just about who made it. It was about who didn't. And Angel Reese's exclusion marked a shift in how fans view hype, a shift in how players respect consistency, a shift in how the league measures stardom. The WNBA is entering an era where highlights must come with wins, and charisma must be backed by stats. Reese's All-Star snub exposed the limits of her current appeal, and the league made it clear. The honeymoon phase is over.
The mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism.
It's not just Angel Reese feeling the heat. Paige Bueckers, another highly marketed prospect, also failed to crack the top 5 in All-Star voting. Despite a strong fan base and massive media attention, she too fell short. And this confirms a growing trend. Fans are done being told who the stars are. They want to decide for themselves. The WNBA audience is getting smarter, more engaged, and more focused on results over reputation. That's the environment Angel Reese now has to survive in. There's something dangerous about peaking too soon, especially when your best moments happen before you've proven yourself at the pro level. Angel Reese was at the center of every headline before her WNBA season even began, and now that early spotlight feels like it came too fast. The expectations were set impossibly high, and she had little room for error. Now every missed shot feels louder, every loss feels heavier, and every underwhelming game chips away at the legacy that was being built before she even had time to earn it. The All-Star votes weren't just a popularity contest. They were a referendum, a way for fans, players, and media to send a message. We're watching closely. The fans saw the stat lines. The players saw the game film. The media, once loud supporters, quietly stepped back. That kind of shift doesn't happen by accident. It happens when expectations are set too high and performances don't live up. The message has been delivered, loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. This isn't the end of Angel Reese's career, not even close, but it is a turning point. The hype has faded, the support has softened, and now she has to prove herself all over again, not through headlines, not through followers, but through every possession on the court. That's how stars are made in the WNBA. Not by being told you're great, but by earning it. So the question now is simple. Does Angel Reese rise from this setback and become the player everyone once believed in, or does she become a cautionary tale of a star crowned too soon? It's impossible to ignore how much the media played a part in both creating Angel Reese's stardom and then stepping away when it no longer fit the narrative. For months, sports outlets praised her, propped her up, and declared her the future of the WNBA. But when the votes didn't come in, the silence was deafening. The same publications that featured her on magazine covers suddenly had no more articles to write. No one defended the snub. No one challenged the result. And that's how you know the momentum really shifted. Not from drama, but from disinterest. Reese once had a wave of fans willing to support everything she did. Every quote went viral. Every outfit was a headline. But All-Star voting revealed something deeper. That support might have been wide, but it wasn't deep. Fans may have followed, liked, and shared, but when it came time to vote, they didn't show up. And that's the difference between being a trending topic and being a true fan favorite. People moved on, quickly. And in today's sports world, if you don't keep giving fans something real, they'll scroll past you just as fast as they found you. At the end of the day, the WNBA is about performance. It's about making plays, winning games, and delivering results. The league doesn't hand out trophies for having the biggest following. It rewards those who grind on the court. And right now, the difference between Angel Reese and other top stars is that they're putting up numbers while she's still trying to find consistency. No amount of interviews or promos can fix a bad shooting percentage. And as harsh as it sounds, that's the reality that every player has to face eventually. Angel Reese is now standing at a crossroads. She can treat this moment as a fall or as a spark. Some athletes use criticism to elevate. They work in silence, improve their game, and come back stronger. Others crumble under the pressure of expectations and let the moment pass them by. Reese still has the tools. She still has the platform. But if she wants to be mentioned with the greats, she has to let the numbers, not the headlines, do the talking. What happens next is entirely in her hands. This all-star snub didn't just mark a missed opportunity. It exposed the fragile line between hype and history. Angel Reese still has time to bounce back, she still has millions watching, but now she has to answer the only question that matters. Can she prove that she belongs at the top? Because in the WNBA, respect is earned one game at a time. And if she can't silence the doubts with her play, the league and the fans will move on to the next big name without looking back. This isn't just about one all-star game. It's about a turning point. A season that started with unmatched promise has hit a wall. But it's not over. In fact, this might be exactly the challenge Angel Reese needs. Because stars aren't made during highlight reels. They're made when the spotlight fades, and they still find a way to shine. The hype is gone, the votes are in, and now the real work begins.